What's going on, everyone? This is your boy LA Styles, aka the LA Styles, on the first episode of Unjustified Behavior. Because a lot of people do some dumbass shit out here. Now, this podcast is based around anime / cartoons, mangas / comics, supernatural, superhero, film, and television. Okay? Comics and manga, anime, cartoon, superhero mess, such as DC and Marvel's two universes. That's all we talk about over here. Now I'm gonna get started today, man, to give you guys content from something that's been bothering me. Pardon me. The Marvel and the DC universes. What's going on out here? What in the shenanigans is really going on out here in these streets? Marvel. What's going on with the X-Men? What is going on? And I don't mean currently what's been going on with the X-Men. Now, I was excited like everybody else was when the X-Men first came out. And they almost immediately dropped the ball. Almost immediately dropped the ball on that trilogy. And then what's crazy, a lot of y'all like the semi-reboot Days of Future Past stuff. I thought it was bogus. I thought it was worse than the first set. Me personally, I thought it was worse than the first set. The best thing out of that whole franchise, from when it hit movie theaters, or hit the big time, I should say, was the first X-Men movie, Wolverine's Origins, and Logan. That's me personally. X-Men 2 and 3, horrible. Especially 3, oh my God. Talk about cringe. Me personally, and I did not like the semi-reboot Days of Future Past trilogy. I did not like it. Again, that's me personally. Maybe I'm just hard to please. No bar. But I didn't. Right. And then when they did the X-Men Origins, I thought a lot of the X-Men, the core group, was all supposed to have origin stories. Y'all, am I tripping? When they supposed to do a Gambit origin and all that? What happened to any of that? What happened to any of that? And I don't remember anybody saying anything. I just remember turning around and this Days of Future Past stuff had happened. And then I knew Origins wouldn't happen then because it was supposed to be based on the first set. Wolverine had already had his. Right? Remember, everybody pretty much changed. Their character changed into the Days of Future Past, the second trilogy. Right? That's what we're going to call it. The first trilogy and the second trilogy. So I was like, oh no. They dropped the ball. And then going to the Avengers, I don't know what's going on with that, man. They messed up Hulk. Hulk got beat up by Thanos. And I'm going to try to make this podcast without curse words. I'm gonna do my best. I need to stop using profanity. I ain't gonna just say necessarily say stop, but I should use less profanity, so I'm gonna try to. All right, wise people say when you use those type of words, it's kind of like represents a lack of knowledge, like you couldn't say anything else. So, and I know that's not me, so I'm gonna work on that. I'm gonna really work on that. Across everything I do in media now, I'm gonna do my best, and if I can't, I'm gonna try to blur out those words or bleep out those words if I can find something that automatically bleep them instead of me going through a 30-minute or hour-long or 2-hour-long podcast to try to find all the words. If y'all got some type of software, y'all know some type of software that I can run audio through that'll bleep out the word automatically for me, let me know in the comments below, because I definitely might need that. But yeah, so then going into Avengers, now anybody who know me know my favorite superhero. Right, my favorite superhero is The Incredible Hulk. The Incredible Hulk is my favorite superhero, right? Anybody who knows me knows that. Or knows me around these type of genres know my favorite, or should know my favorite superhero slash hero is The Incredible Hulk. They trashed The Incredible Hulk, man. They put smut on his name. They put dirt on that man's back. They did everything they could to make the Hulk seem like he's just trash. No level ups. They worked on character development in the second half of the Avengers way more than him being strong, which is his whole character. It's based on strength. And I just don't know, man. I don't know. And then the old Avengers, which is the original group, going into the current Avengers in the state that it's in now. I don't know. This universe is, and then let's not even mention the Eternals coming into play. I don't know. It doesn't seem like a universe anymore. I mean, I guess maybe we're thinking, or I'm thinking, that it should be intertwined more. But the lack of cohesion on what's going on between, now you could say three groups, between the Avengers, the Eternals, and the X-Men. And the X-Men is a way bigger group than the Avengers. It's off. I ain't gonna say off-putting, but it's weird to me that the Avengers is at the forefront of the Marvel Universe instead of the X-Men. Now, I do know the X-Men did come out first, way before the Avengers. But it seemed like, to me, they would have fixed that. And the X-Men have a way bigger group to work with, especially when you want to think of individual movies and stories and things of that nature. A way bigger group to pull from than the Avengers. And to me, the X-Men is a way better group than the Avengers. So it seemed like they really should have did the X-Men justice first and got the Earth part of state level / country level fighting down before you went to the Avengers, and then all of a sudden we got galactic and universal threat level things, and we can't even handle stuff on Earth. That don't even make sense. Didn't even make sense. Right. So I think that the Marvel Universe is just, I don't even know what to really call it. It's really just disastrous. At least that's my perspective with what's going on right now. On the X-Men side, everyone knows Wolverine is my guy. On the Avengers side, Incredible Hulk is my guy. They dropped the ball on all that. They got comedy Thor, stand-up comedy Thor. I don't know what's going on with that. You have no Captain America currently. You have no Iron Man currently. I mean, I guess if you considering Falcon as the new Captain America, then maybe y'all have a Captain America, but they never put enough emphasis on his leadership skills for him to be Captain America, in my personal opinion. Right? If that what was gonna happen, and they knew that in advance, so maybe they didn't know that in advance. Maybe it just came down to the last minute, and then Chris Evans said he wasn't going to renew a contract again or something like that. Because I find it hard to believe that if you knew he was leaving a couple movies prior to the end of this Avengers run, whatever phase it wanted to be, phase 4, phase whatever, and you knew that he was going to pass the torch to Falcon, that you didn't put him at the forefront enough or in good enough positions enough in the prior movies to show that leadership level skill. You just handed the shield over to somebody that at that point in time have not shown that level of leadership to lead that group of individuals. So I feel like that's off-putting. That's not on the character. That's not on Falcon, right? That's on the writers, the directors, the production. They didn't do what they were supposed to do, in my personal opinion. So that's I don't know. You know what I mean? And then who you have currently? Are we counting Spider-Man in the Avengers or no? So you have Falcon. I'm assuming you still have Winter Soldier. You kind of have the Hulk, but he's supposed to be off somewhere. I think he's going to have a solo film coming up. Excuse me. With everything that's been going on, I think they got the licenses. Excuse me. I think the licenses reverted back. So now I think they can do a solo Hulk film. But he's gone. So I'll count him though, because you need him. So you have Falcon, you have Winter Soldier, you have the Incredible Hulk. Well, you have the Hulk, because he's not incredible. I guess you still have Ant-Man. You don't have Black Panther unless you count Shuri as Black Panther. I guess you can get Iron Lad as the backup Iron Man. I don't know, man. This is a bad lineup. If we was doing Young Avengers, if they do that, they can scrap the Avengers and do Young Avengers. Because, and I'm not even cool with that, but you missing too many key pieces, man. You don't have Iron Man, you don't have Captain America, you don't have Black Panther. You have a super underpowered Incredible Hulk. You have a comedy, stand-up comedy Thor. Then you have Ant-Man and a possibility on you have Winter Soldier and a possible Spider-Man. I don't know. And y'all supposed to be saving the world still. I don't know. Fighting galactic threats. You done introduced the Celestials, the Eternals. You know what I mean? Galactus we know exists. Kind of quote unquote exists. I don't know how you backtrack from those level threats. You know what I mean? Like, we should be going higher than Thanos now. So if the next antagonist is higher than is stronger than Thanos, who's supposed to be Kang, I'm assuming, I don't trust this group to come through. If this the group that they use to go against Kang and Kang Dynasty and they win, I'm done. I'm done with the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Me personally, I'm done. Oh, and then your other group, who I forgot to bring up, was so it's not 3 groups, kind of 4 groups, I guess. Currently would be Guardians. That would be a 4th group. So Guardians, the Eternals, which is another group, the Avengers another group, and the X-Men another group. And I don't know what's going on. Again, as a cinematic universe, we in bad shape. We in very bad shape, and I think some things should be scrapped. A lot of things probably should be scrapped. Oh, and then we got the TV shows. We ain't even finna. Today is not the day. I do not have that type of time today. But we got a bad situation. Now I'm 40 at this point in time. Right? I don't know how old I was when the cinematic universe started. But I do want to see it continue. I just don't know if I'll even be interested in watching it if they had to prolong it. You know? So maybe it's not for me anymore. But they definitely probably should go scrap a lot of things, come back to the drawing board, and do the X-Men right, and then bring in the Avengers and stuff like. They was pushing a lot of stuff forward when the universe was messed up, and I think that's another flaw. They dropped the ball on the X-Men badly, and then they continue to push the universe forward, knowing it was shattered. That's second. Then third, the entire Avengers pretty much crumbled. And then they still attempted to push it forward with the Eternals and such, and then the TV shows. And I don't know, man. I don't know. It's in bad shape, in my personal opinion. Again, these are my thoughts. Real bad shape. Now, DC dropped the ball heavily when it tried to play catch up to the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Let me explain. They were trying to match the Avengers, right? The Avengers did their solo movies before they got to the Avengers as a group, and DC tried to. Well, that's what Marvel did. I don't know if I said the wrong name or not. And DC tried to hurry up and get the Justice League to counter the box office sales and get the money that that Marvel was getting. And they dropped the ball heavily. They didn't put enough story or backstory or emphasis on any of the individual characters. They tried to rush, make sure everyone had at least one movie, and then just threw him in there. Batman didn't even get his one movie, right? Because we're not counting the Christopher Nolan series, according to the DCEU. So the Batman that's in there is not, he didn't come from there. So he didn't even get his own backstory before Justice League happened. I guess his introduction is really Batman vs Superman, which is crazy to me, but that's his introduction. And that wasn't good. And then you continue to push forward, even though that wasn't good. You know what I'm saying? No, notice the notice the pattern. We keep pressing forward even after we drop the ball, instead of picking up the ball. Right? You dropped the ball and then you went forward without the ball. How does that make sense? You have to pick the ball back up. You're not fixing, to a degree, anything, and you're just trying to push forward to go into the next step. And it don't work like that. Y'all thinking it does, and it's not. And this is why you have cracks in your story, cracks in the production, cracks in the characters, and you're making things that don't nobody want because you're not fixing the things that came before. Batman vs Superman was not good. It wasn't. And then you still forced Justice League. Right? You messed up Superman. You messed up, you introduced a bad Batman. And not that he was bad as a character. I like the Batman that's super violent. You know what I mean? Hyper violent, if you will. That really don't care and things like that. But you introduced part of his character with Robin being dead or Nightwing being dead and things. You should have shown that. That should have been a movie. That should have been a movie. I talked to a friend of mine and I said that was a big drop the ball moment at that point in time. If that's what happened, right? I said that could have been, you could have made a Batman that connected to Christopher Nolan's Batman, right? I like this. We all know that Joker didn't die in the it was an off-screen thing in the Christopher Nolan trilogy. Joker didn't die, right? Cool. At the end of Dark Knight Rises, you introduce Robin, right? You introduce him. So, and you introduce a retired Batman. So why couldn't you come back these years later with a Ben Affleck Batman? You already have the concept that you're going to introduce the Nightwing died. Okay, so we can connect the dots. Joker's still alive from the Nolan trilogy. There is a Robin. It was shown to be a Robin, or going to be a Robin, in that series. Cool. So there's a connection. Joker still alive from the Nolan trilogy, and Joker clearly was alive in that, at a point in time, in that new Batman for Ben Affleck. You introduce Robin at the end of the Nolan trilogy, right? And we know that Nightwing, quote unquote, died in that Ben Affleck Batman. We know that happened. That Joker killed Nightwing / Robin, and why we couldn't get that? Why we couldn't get that? Why that couldn't be? Come back, Batman's retired. You know what I mean? Robin then took over. He graduated, went to Nightwing, and now Batman comes back out of retirement because Joker came back and killed Robin / Nightwing. So now Ben Affleck Batman comes out of retirement to go get revenge. That's the movie we should have got with Ben Affleck before we got this Batman versus Superman. Before, we should have got a gruesome Batman coming back to fight Joker for the last time and kills Joker at the end of that. That's the Batman that we should have had. And we should have shown and been shown that broken Batman that was trying to put things back together and introduce them Batman vs Superman. We should have had that. We should have had that. That'd have been money. That'd have brung money right there. That would have brung money right there. You dropped the ball badly. Badly. We needed that. You that up. Try not to curse. You that up. You know what I mean? I'm almost like bleeping out my own words. I'm cutting it off. And then you gave us Batman vs Superman. And then you proceeded to give us the Justice League / Injustice. And that was not it. That was not it. There should have been a Man of Steel 2. And you could have gave us a Man of Steel 2 around the same time you gave us that Batman. They introduced Ben Affleck as Batman. You could have did that. I didn't want to see Man of Steel going into Batman vs Superman. No. You messed that up as well. There definitely should have been a Man of Steel 2. Man of Steel is the best DC movie in the DCEU that you had by far. By far. It's the best, to me, Superman movie there is ever made. Henry Cavill's Man of Steel is the best Superman movie there is. I'm going on record to say that. Again, it's PR. My personal is my personal response, you know what I mean? These are my opinions. And Batman, that Batman could have been up there with the Christopher Nolan Batman, which wouldn't have been necessarily hard because really we only give that Batman that level of credit for the second and third Batman movie. Him versus Ra's al Ghul in Batman Begins wasn't that good. It's not that it was a bad movie, but that Batman wasn't that good. He was like a rookie Batman, you know what I mean? Shout out, I do want to shout out to what is it? The Batman, right? The Batman that came out, was it a year ago, year and a half ago, whatever it was? Dude, that was a good Batman with the guy, and it was Robert Pattinson. That was a good Batman. I did like that movie. I did like that movie. But I do believe that Ben Affleck's Batman, if it's the Batman that's from BVS, the hurt, broken Batman, having his own movie, going against the Joker, but killing Nightwing, would have been the best. That's the combination of that Batman with that story would have been ridiculous. Would have been ridiculous. And we didn't get that. We cheated out of that. That's fine. That's fine. I mean, I keep saying Nightwing. Anywho, he killed one of the sidekicks. Depending on which story you read, he kills one of the sidekicks. Jason Todd, Nightwing, Robin, you know what I mean, Red Hood, whatever one you want to call it. Especially depending on which comic you read. He kills him. We're just gonna say Robin, right? We just gonna say Robin. He killed Robin. That would have been great. But still in all, we move forward. You give us Justice League. It's not put together well. It's not put together well. Everyone has one movie. You don't really know their character. They try to show some level of turmoil in each character from the one movie. You know what I mean? Like Man of Steel. This is his first proven threat of his level that he was able to overcome. That one time. That don't mean that he can do it again. And right after that, you killed him. And Batman vs Superman, you finally get a very dramatic and human relatable Superman. You finally get him in a movie where he can actually throw hands and not fighting robots or fighting Kevin Spacey as Lex Luthor, where really can't fight him. You put him in a situation where he can actually fight by giving him Kryptonian, so he can actually throw hands. Some nice fighting done in that. And then right after that movie, you kill him. Right after we get a Superman that we want, oh, he throwing hands. Right after we finally get that Superman, because you haven't given us that before in none of the other Supermans, in my personal opinion. All the other Supermans was like, I don't know. But I get it. Superman's too strong to actually fight people on Earth. You gave us a situation where he could, and then you killed him in his next movie. Mind you, BVS, Batman vs Superman, is supposed to be Man of Steel 2. That's his Superman's franchise. Supposed to be. At least that's what was said. BVS is not Justice League. Right? It's Superman's. Supposed to be Superman's movie. It's not Batman's movie. It's supposed to be Superman's movie. So that's in the Superman franchise. The Man of Steel franchise. And it didn't work. You killed him. Okay, cool. You introduced Batman. He's hurt. You know what I mean? We get the gist of why he's hurt, but you never show that or whatever the case is. Whatever. You move forward. You got Diana. Right? Wonder Woman. She comes in. Messed up her second movie, but cool. Right? We show her put in work for the one time. Then we see Aquaman put in work for the one time. And then you throw them all together. In what's supposed to be an event where they even care about each other. In a group of people who don't even know each other for the most part. Don't even know each other. Flash is in there. He didn't even have his own movie prior to Justice League. Cyborg didn't have a movie prior to Justice League. And I'm sitting back and I'm looking like there's a lack of cohesion, right? And it is their first time out together, but it's more than that. There's a nice amount of these characters that I don't care about. There's no attachments there because you never built them up. You gave them one movie. The only person I cared about was Man of Steel because it was so on the ball when it came out that I almost had to care. Like it was like Man of Steel just did it for when it released. I remember I think we was at Fort McCoy. I was in the reserves at the time. We was at Fort McCoy. I believe that was Fort McCoy, or was we overseas? I can't remember. I remember being in uniform, and I remember it being a group of us, and we all went. It was one day on the weekend. We all went to see Man of Steel. That's when I saw it for the first time, and I was like, oh man, they did it. They did it, ladies and gentlemen. That's what I remember. They did it. We here, and they messed that up for me, man. They took that away from me with this Batman vs Superman bullcrap. Doomsday looked at trash. Batman suit, looked at fat. It's crazy. Superman dies. Spoiler alert. Superman died. Wonder Woman did a little something. Batman messed up. That's what I took from that. And then they introduced a weird Lex Luthor, who supposed to been somehow he was acting like Joker or Two-Face for some reason. I don't know what that was. Don't know what that was. And then you force Justice League on top after that still, instead of fixing that situation with some more movies. You push forward with Justice League anyway. Okay. You gonna force it. Then you introduce the Flash in this weird suit, mechanical looking Iron Man suit that he's wearing, and this weird running effect, like he's running on water, or I don't know what his legs and stuff is. I don't know what the animation was and who idea was to make that man run like that. But it doesn't look good. On the rewatch, on every watch, on the trailer, on anything I've ever seen it on, it doesn't look good. But you left it in there and you proceed to move forward anyway. Okay. And you gave us this Justice League because you're trying to catch up to the Avengers. And it's just a money grab. Everyone knows it's a money grab. But if you don't know, you should know. And they want to keep on pushing out Avengers movie. I say Avengers. They want to keep pushing out Justice League movies at the time. And it didn't sit well. It didn't take. Then they broke up. Ben Affleck, rumors, you know what I mean? Rumors have it. Rumors, Ben Affleck don't want to be a part of it no more. You dropped Henry Cavill out of it. Thanks to James Gunn. Don't know what's going on with Wonder Woman or Aquaman. I heard Aquaman's supposed to be played by someone else. What I hear, not sure. But at this point in time, everyone that would be, because the time keep passing, would be in their late 30s, if not going into their 40s and whatnot. So now, I'm assuming you want a younger cast to play these roles for a longer period of time. But this wouldn't be necessary if you'd have fixed what you should have fixed when you had time to fix it. And you could have about 3 Justice League movies out by now. Probably at least 3. And that's with people having individual movies. But you continue to drop the ball and you didn't care. And I just where you at with it. So it's crazy that we hear in both universes are in the states that they're in. Marvel, they continue to try to push the ball with the TV shows, trying to give us the Wanda TV show, trying to give us the Falcon TV show, trying to give us the She-Hulk TV show for whatever reason. And I don't know, man. I don't know. Neither one of them is sitting well with me. And it's just me. You know what I mean? I'm just one individual, so I really don't matter. And I'm like, man, how do we get here, man? How do we get here? This is trash. Don't nobody care that this trash? Guess I'll be looking, don't nobody care that this is trash? We just going down the tubes, huh? Okay. I guess that's where we at. And I wish I wish it wasn't. I really wanted to be in a better state. And again, when they come back, it might not be for me, right? Whenever they really hit the big screens again, I'll be within my 40s. So I get it. I don't get it, but I get it. You know what I mean? They messed up. I wouldn't want to see it in my lifetime, but I think I'm done. I think I'm done with waiting for them to get it together. Again, outside the Incredible Hulk, I prefer the X-Men anyway. And I can care less about the Justice League as a whole. The only Superman I've ever liked was the Man of Steel Superman. And everybody else, I don't really too much care about. I do like Captain America, but by far the Incredible Hulk is my guy. Of all guys in the superhero realm, the Incredible Hulk is my guy. That will be followed probably by the Sentry, and then somewhere would be Wolverine, and somewhere under there would be Captain America. This is the overall landscape of superheroes. Who else? I got more on Marvel side than DC. I do, but not as far as, well, I don't know if you consider him superhero, villain, supervillain, whatever the case is, because he's played both sides of the fence. Silver Surfer is my guy as well. I mess with Silver Surfer. That's my dude. And you see what they did to him. They didn't get him right, and he's strong as hell. I don't know, man. I don't know what we do from here. I don't know where we go from here. But I did want to at least give my 2 cents on what I think about the landscape currently. And we in shambles, man. We definitely in trouble. James Gunn is an older individual, and he's leading the charge now on the DC side of things. But he's older, so how long will he be doing his thing on this side? How long would it take him to revamp whatever he's trying to revamp before he even get the first thing out? You know what I mean? We're trying to create a 10-year plan. How long is it going to take to create a 10-year plan? Then how long is it going to take to start filming those and actually get your first one out? Will I be 45 by then, 44, 45 by then? But then we'll get something every year and going into my 50. I don't know if I'll be caring enough at that point in time. You know what I mean? For me personally. But again, you know what I mean? Maybe that won't be for me. It'll be for people in their 20s and maybe in their 30s at that point in time. So it is what it is, man. But this has been your boy LA Styles, aka the LA Styles, man, on the first episode of Unjustified Behavior, right? And I do convict Marvel and I do convict DC of having unjustified behavior. You're guilty, sirs, sir, and or madams, and slash companies. You're guilty. Okay? Get your stuff together. Do something for the betterment of the next generation or the current generation of people in their 20s and 30s. Give them something to be proud of when it comes to superhero film and television. Right? If y'all gonna go out on a note, because again, it is an older generation that's running it now, that's behind the scenes of production. So who knows how long that they're going to be in the production. People don't typically still do films when they in their 50s and 60s and 70s. You know what I mean? How long is the universe supposed to go for? 10 years, 15 years, 20 years? You get what I'm saying? A lot of these older people, they already in their 50s. So I don't see the DC and Marvel going for maybe 20 years unless they just gonna keep switching it off and then rebooting like the cartoons and comic books and whatnot. But someone get it right, please. Please. Get my son, well, y'all done let my son down already. He 14. You hyped him up around the age of 8 and 9. We used to always go see him. And then you dropped the ball, disappointed him in the later years. He's 14, he's sad. And you know what I mean, he cries at night. You know what I mean? Sometimes he has cold sweats. because of what Age of Ultron did to him when they dropped the ball on that. You know what I mean? He wake up in cold sweats, crying. I have to hold him. You know what I mean? And put him back to sleep and whatnot. You know what I mean? So he go back to sleep. Sometimes I put him in his car seat at the age of 14. I just drive around and let him fall asleep in the back seat in the car seat. You know what I mean? He's 14. That's why I have to do this. What y'all did to my son. You know what I mean? That's what y'all did. With that, man, I'm gonna get out of here, man. Whatever opinions y'all have, y'all make sure to leave in the comments on whatever platform you're able to stream this on, right? There will be a YouTube video, and you can also leave your comments in there. Now, on Justified Behavior, you know, whoever has some of the top comments, I will invite them to the next, or not even to the next episode, on a future episode to talk about whatever the topic is on that one. If we do well, I do plan on introducing live podcasts where I have a pre-recorded one like normal that'll go up on the weekend, and then during the week I have a live one, or I might do vice versa. I might do a live and a pre-recorded on the same day. You know what I mean? And then just sit back and then just talk with y'all. I might do a pre-recorded one, and then right after pre-recorded, I might just go ahead and do a live. And let's get to talking about, you know what I mean, whatever the upcoming topic. Y'all wouldn't know what the previous topic was because that video wouldn't be uploaded. But you know what I mean, I'll figure it out. I probably rather have the pre-recorded one, upload that so y'all get that content, and then do a live one after that. Maybe a few days after that, once that's been uploaded, and then y'all get that content, and then do a live regarding that content so everybody can get their opinions out on, you know what I mean, how they feel about the topic, how they feel about whatever the topic was, you know what I mean, and we can just sit down, chat as a community, you know what I mean, have some fun, eat, drink, laugh, joke, you know what I mean, talk bad about some people. But again, this is your boy LA Styles, aka DLR Styles. This is the first episode of Unjustified Behavior. Y'all make sure to hit that follow button or that subscribe button, depending on where you listening to us at. We do have a lot coming to the community, and we have a lot coming to the community for the free ski. At no cost to you, but a view and possibly a follow and or subscribe on whatever it is you listen to us at, okay? Appreciate that. Y'all make sure to hit that share button too. Make sure we all growing together, and we got a lot more coming. With that, I'm out of here. Peace.